Our minds use mental scales for every relationship we have. At the start of a healthy one, the scale is balanced by positive seeds, represented by yellow dots, which are moments of kindness, love, and respect. This builds a foundation of trust and affection. The positive confirmation bias acts as a filter, seeking out and reinforcing these experiences. As long as the positive seeds outweigh the negative, the relationship remains strong, favoring the hero narrative. The problem begins when a single negative seed, a black dot, is introduced. This could be an insensitive comment, a forgotten promise, or a moment of emotional unavailability. The scale begins to tip slightly. With our existing positive bias, we try to justify or dismiss this negative seed, but it creates a small amount of mental tension. Over time, more negative seeds are added. The partner might consistently neglect their emotional needs, engage in hurtful behavior, or become emotionally distant. The scale is now significantly tipped toward the negative side. The negative confirmation bias starts to form, acting as a second filter that looks for and validates these negative experiences. This is a crucial turning point. Their mind is now split between two conflicting narratives: the hero, supported by the original positive seeds, and the villain, a new narrative fueled by the growing number of negative ones. This creates a huge internal conflict and immense mental tension. They want to believe in the good of their partner, but are faced with overwhelming evidence of the bad. Now, they're faced with a choice: leave and resolve the conflict, or stay and find a way to cope. If leaving is impossible due to external factors like kids, family, or home, their mind's solution is to add a psychological counterweight to the hero's side of the scale. This is a mental effort to justify staying despite the pain. To deal with this immense internal conflict, they begin to build an emotional compartment, a psychological defense mechanism to suppress the pain. The negative confirmation bias becomes a powerful filter, blocking out any positive seeds and only letting in information that supports the villain narrative. The mental counterweight works by sending inhibitory signals, primarily using GABA, to suppress the neural activity in the brain regions, like the amygdala associated with the pain and conflict of the relationship. This creates new pathways that get fortified over time. This new neural network is the emotional compartment. Think of it not as a network that makes emotions disappear, but as a neural dimmer switch. It doesn't turn the emotional lights off completely, but it turns them down so low that they are not a source of conscious pain or distress. They begin to emotionally disassociate from their partner. The compartment becomes fortified, and the emotional wall seems impenetrable. They are no longer in a state of dissonance because their mind has chosen a single narrative: the villain is the problem, and their emotional detachment is justified. Their narrative and their emotions are finally in alignment. In case the partner, or the villain, starts to change their behavior, their consistent positive seeds are initially filtered out by their strong negative confirmation bias. But if the partner is committed, their sheer weight and consistency, combined with a lack of new negative weights, may slowly begin to weaken the walls of their compartment. What happens is that these new positive emotions begin to override the GABA inhibitory signals. The mental pressure to keep inhibiting them becomes overwhelming, and cracks begin to appear in their emotional wall. This is where their negative narrative, once so strong, can no longer hold, and the intense discomfort of cognitive dissonance returns. This is a long and difficult process, as their mind is still very resistant to change. As the walls get thinner, they might experience a push-and-pull dynamic. Their emotional compartment, designed to keep emotions out, is now leaking. They may feel a pull toward their partner because of the good things they are doing, but this triggers a moment of mental tension that is so painful that they immediately push them away, rebuilding their walls. The scales are now at 50-50, and the mental effort to maintain the compartment and the negative narrative is at its peak. Their brain is working tirelessly to justify staying emotionally checked out, but the consistent positive evidence is becoming overwhelming. This internal stress is so great that cracks begin to appear in their entire narrative. This is the moment of crisis, a result of extreme cognitive dissonance. To end the suffering, their mind's protective self tries to force an outcome that fits their old narrative. This often leads to a confrontation, a crucial conversation, as they feel a strong urge to resolve the dissonance. This is an intense test to see if your changes are real. Is your partner truly emotionally safe, non-needy, and non-reactive? They might use absolutes like, "I am never coming back," or "I never loved you," in a desperate attempt to re-establish the villain narrative and reseal the compartment. The immense pressure makes this test impossible to pass with sheer willpower. You must have already made huge internal changes, taken full ownership of your part, and gotten rid of all resentment and victim mindsets. The easiest way to pass is to reinterpret this moment as a crucial opportunity to show the new you. If passed, this conversation can become the first corrective conversation. This is not a debate you can win, but a chance to show that your changes are real and your presence is now emotionally safe. If you fail, the walls will go up, stronger than ever. But if you pass, they may not be able to reseal the cracks in their emotional walls. Here is a potential timeline for how healing and reconnection can unfold when you consistently commit to positive change after the crucial corrective conversation. Phase 1. Disruption. Time frame. Immediate day 0 to 7 after the corrective conversation. What's happening? Your calm, consistent, and committed new behavior disrupts their emotional narrative. They expected resistance or a collapse, but instead experience a calm, truthful, and loving presence. This creates a powerful and necessary contrast. Your role: stay consistent. Do not chase or pressure them. Allow them the space to process this new reality. Phase 2. Cognitive dissonance. Time frame: weeks 1 to 3. What's happening? Their brain wrestles with conflicting beliefs. "They stress me out," versus "they're safe now." This internal struggle is uncomfortable but essential for their healing. Your role: remain emotionally steady. You must validate their feelings without taking them personally. Do not apply pressure. Phase 3. Curiosity and reassessment. Time frame: months 1 to 2. What's happening? They begin to observe you differently. The small moments of warmth or trust you offer start to feel less threatening. Your role: keep showing up with integrity. Let them witness your growth and consistency over time. Phase 4. Emotional rewiring. Time frame: months 2 to 6. What's happening? New neural pathways begin to form in their brain. You become associated with calm, safety, and reliability, and their old emotional triggers start to weaken. Your role: reinforce their sense of safety through your consistent tone, presence, and empathy. Phase 5. Reconnection and healing. Time frame: months 6+. What's happening? If their emotional safety is sustained and reinforced over time, genuine attraction and connection may begin to re-emerge organically. Your role: stay true to your values. Remember that true love cannot be demanded, it can only be created. This is the final, healed stage of the journey. The scales are now tilted back toward the positive side. The negative weights have either disappeared or been reinterpreted. This is not about forgetting the past, but about integrating it into a new, more truthful narrative. Their perspective has fundamentally shifted. They are no longer looking for evidence to justify their pain and detachment. Instead, they are now seeking out and valuing the positive aspects of the relationship and their own healing journey. The emotional compartment finally comes down for good. They have created a single, authentic narrative of their relationship, acknowledging both the painful past and the hopeful future. Their feelings and actions are finally in alignment, allowing them to move forward with a full and honest sense of self.